now.
Alright, what's good, y'all? I'm JB. I'm here with my boy. Introduce yourself.
It's Jay Perez, JP up in here. Welcome to
Jay
the show.
Perez. All right. Now, welcome to First Take. We'll be doing 5 topics, talking about it, chatting about it, getting our opinions about it. You guys will drop us your ideas, your thoughts. But our our thing is gonna start off with Fight Night 10, The Way of the Ninja, the upcoming card on RCC. And we're gonna do 5 quick topics. One of them being Jallo versus Leroy. So let's get right into that. What are your opinions on that?
Well, here's the thing. I know these guys from RCL. I'm just gonna check where they're at currently. Um, this is a one versus two fight at middleweight. Basically, this fight will determine a number one contender. Both guys are very, very solid competitors. I can't wait for the fight.
Yeah, like honestly, I didn't really think that Jallo needed another fight to get a title shot due to his reign, and of course the person that beat him retired and walked out. But here we are, and honestly, I think the favorite in this fight will be Jallo, but also because him, along with Jack, along with True, along with Flex, were one of the dominant champions that were on like the poster board of RCC. Now, I'm not really familiar with their old stripes or what they've done before, but there's some things that I've heard that really makes Jallo actually like even without the title, I still feel like he's probably the best middleweight in the division.
And that's saying a lot because you obviously have that middleweight title up for grabs later tonight. Um, so that's a very strong that's a very strong take. The fact that maybe this fight could determine who's champion, and we still have a co-main event determining the middleweight title. Do you think that the winner of this fight has a good chance to be the next champion?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Especially like the fact that Jallo already had the gold. It's kind of like a no brainer for me to think that he has a great, if not a perfect shot at the title. But yet again, you never know. Sometimes it could be someone's best day. Sometimes you could just end up not having a great day and end up losing. I've experienced them. A lot of other people have too. So you never know. Like there's always a chance. I know a lot of people sleep on Diego Morales, but I personally think that if Jallo could get this done, which I know he probably could get done, I mean not to sleep on the opponent, never to do that, but I feel like the winner of this fight has the highest chances of holding the title next.
And when it comes to where this fight is placed, are you surprised that it's really low in the card? I mean, it's one versus two. Basically, it's a number one contenders fight, and it's ending off the prelims.
Yeah, actually, I was very shocked because I fight on the card too. I'm fighting against Dylan Volkanovski. Shout out to him. All due respect to my fellow competitor I'm gonna be fighting, but realistically, I'm number one in welterweight, right? And he's what number four
I
or
think
number
he's
five?
he's five. I think.
Five. So I was like, wow. I looked at the card and I saw Jallo on the prelims. I was like, oh shit, he's on the, he's not on the main card. But like I feel like the whole main card is stacked. I'm very excited for the card, not only to be a part of it, but to experience it. Because we also have a new title being introduced, which I think is super insane, super fun for RCC. But I got a question. What do you think about the stylistic matchup between Leroy and Costa?
I'll be honest. I talked to both these guys, and disclaimer right now that I'm a little new to the game. I've seen Jallo fight before. I do like what he brings to the table. I'll try and pull up something on what they told me. Um, so what Jallo told me is that he said he has a good submission game, which I think I've seen from him before. Leroy, very balanced fighter. He can end the fight early. Uh, you know, I feel like a lot of people are going to be pulling towards Paula right here, but Leroy's a tough fighter, and I think he's going to have a good chance in this one. He's 2-0 right now, so the guy's a winner, and they're both confident in this one, and they know the next fight's a title shot.
Yeah. Another thing. Okay, so Adam. Okay, so Costa's last loss. Obviously, we know who he lost to. That is one loss that no one should be ashamed about. He lost to a veteran in the game. So I think that he's hungry to get back what he had before. Losing to a veteran who just dipped. So I think out of everybody, I think Jalo Costa probably has the most resolve to win the belt back. But then you look, all right. So I look at the welter, no, middleweight division, and I really see a lot of people who could potentially like hold the belt, even with not so good records, like Clutch Liddell. I mean, Harry Cejudo, he has a good record, but I think he's higher somewhere else than middleweight. But then we also have like Triple, Josh. The division is large. The division has a lot of value to it. So really, I think that Diego being the champion kind of gave us a refresh, kind of gave us a opportunity to really see what the middleweight division has in store.
Hmm.
But speaking of middleweight, I think we've spoken enough. Now it's time. So next? Mandrew Tate versus Fred. Talk to me about that. What do you think about Mandrew Tate versus Fred?
So let me look at what manager told me. I think I did also get to him. Um, Give me a second. Manager Tate and Fred, you said?
Yes, sir.
Well, we know. Fredeeb, is it? I think so. Hopefully, we're talking about the same guy. Let me check real quick.
Yeah. Fred Beeman Megomedov.
Yeah. So I'll be honest here. I don't know this particular fight as well as you because I didn't get a word from Mandrew. But is it lightweight? Current champion right now is Flex. He seems to have a stranglehold in that division so far. And looking at the fight, it's 1 versus 3, so definitely a chance for someone to fight for the title next. If Fredeeb wins, he gets a jump on it, and he has a chance at the belt. Mandrew, number 1 ranked contender. I want to ask you stylistically about this fight because I haven't actually seen these two guys fight before.
All right. Well, obviously I can't. It's hard to go by exhibition, but I've seen these guys play on cards that I've been attending, and I know Mandrew more than I know Fred. But I've played against Fred. I've seen Fred work in the ring, well, octagon if you will call it. Um, I like the matchup, right? Because you have someone like Fred who's more like an all around threat, but then you have someone like Mandrew who who will be able to maul you. Like he could strike. He's not a bad striker. He could strike, but really, if he gets control of you on the ground, you're kind of in a bad spot. Like showing his record 2-0, and his last fight was the middleweight champion Diego. So clearly, he already beat the middleweight champ. So clearly, he got some weight on him. Clearly, he's a real threat to Flex. Now, Flex, we see domination after domination after domination. He dominated Heater Yan last fight, right? So I personally think that Flex needs to sit back for a while because he's just been fighting so much lately that I just think that he like him, Jack, True, they've been winning so much that I feel like until there's like a clear competitor, they need to sit back and just let everything develop. They've just been so dominant. So really, in this fight, who would I favor? Uh, we didn't choose who we would favor in the
Uh,
last one, but from this point on, we let's do that. Who would I favor in this fight? Knowing how okay, so me and Andrew have fought before, we've trained before, like on some friendly stuff. So I know like what he's capable of. If he gets you on the ground, you're kind of in a bad spot. So really, I think if Fred wants to win, he needs to keep the fight standing. But if he ends up wanting to continue to be all around and try to get his takedown opportunities, that's cool. You could like, of course, it's always good to mix in a couple of things, but I feel like it's too dangerous to maybe get caught in like a rubber guard or get caught on the ground, get caught on your back, something like that against someone like Andrew Tate who knows how to finish fights. Especially knowing that his resume, he already has the middleweight champion on there. So yeah, I really think that if Fred needs no Fred Beeb needs to dictate the pace. He needs to dictate where the fight's gonna go because if he does it, then he's just gonna end up on the ground. So I think that's my personal opinion. Fred Beeb wants to win, keep the fight standing.
Yeah, that's the main key right there. Because in my opinion, it's a lot of times I feel like I would rather pick the wrestler than the striker because if the wrestler gets you to the ground, you need to have great takedown defense, which is what Freddie was going to have to do on Saturday night. And man, if Manager gets on the ground, that could be it right there. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be a type of fight where Manager's just going to try and maul him for 3 rounds or what?
No, Manager, he's really like he's not a he knows that people know his prowess. So I don't think he will start the fight. Well, actually, maybe unexpectedly, he maybe comes out hot with a takedown and start the fight off. I wouldn't be surprised if I seen that. But really, I think he's just gonna wait. I think he's just gonna wait to get hit, and then once that animation cuts off, I think that's when he's gonna shoot for the takedown, or maybe lock up in the clinch, try to get him against the cage. In places where he's comfortable that he could, you know, take hits and then take a dominant spot. One thing dangerous about Mandrew is once he gets to that side control position, then there's multiple possibilities that he can go to. So that you got to be worried about. He can go crucifix. He can end up in the sprawl. He can end up just side control, sending knees to the body. So it's like really you don't want to let him get there. But unfortunately, there is a takedown option, the slam, that puts him right in that position. So I think Fred Fred Beeb, if he really wants to like negate that, a lot of front kicks, oblique kicks, body knees, stuff like that, like takedown anti moves to then make Mandrew Tate second guess shooting for a takedown. Because if Mandrew is comfortable shooting for a takedown, he's just gonna keep shooting. He's gonna keep taking him down. He's gonna keep getting those maybe one, two, three hits in. So then by the fifth round or fourth round, late in the fight, next thing you know, every hit hurts. So
Yeah.
I think Fred Beeb needs to he needs to like come up with a game plan that somehow he doesn't take damage on the ground. He keeps his stamina up and he stays on the feet.
Do you also think that are you confident that Freddie can like prevent the takedown? Like let's say manager shoots. Do you think Freddie can prevent the takedown, or do you think that if he gets taken down, it's really going to be difficult for him for the rest of that fight?
I had a conversation with one of my teammates, Ito Fujiwara, and he even said himself like he is very surprised at how Fred Beep turned it around. Like at first, he didn't seem like he was going to be a competitor, and next thing you know, he shoots up 2-1. So really, Fred Beep is like he's on the hunt right now. He's like the wild card of the division so far because he is one that's not to be slept on. Now, I think everybody everybody has a knockout chance. So really, I don't think it would be a hard thing to stop Mandrew from taking down. The only thing I will say would be more difficult is assuming when or what times he would try to clinch because Mandrew is not somebody that would just shoot out of nowhere. He will strike with you, make you believe that it's going to turn into a brawl, and then as soon as you assume that, start throwing things, maybe your stamina gets a little low, that's when all of a sudden you end up on the ground getting submitted, getting ground and pounded, or you end up in a bad position where your stamina gets low, he puts you in a submission, and even if you get out, your stamina is drained out, so now he could strike with you confidently. So I think that at the end of the day, Fabib needs to like establish those front kicks and those knees and obliques and uppercuts in the fight, just to let Mandrew know, like, I'm waiting for you to shoot.
All right, and let's get into the co-main event. I feel like arguably that a lot of people are very excited for this one. Championship bout: Diego Morales taking on Israel Adesanya. Very much excited for that fight because I've seen both guys fight. Haven't seen them fight in a while, but I have seen them fight before. I like Diego a lot, and I've been very impressed with what I saw with Izzy in the past. I don't know how much they've improved. What do you think about this fight and stylistically?
Stylistically, I'm very indifferent about it. They fought each other last time. And hold up, before I say, I have a question for you. How do you feel about Diego? Right? Because remember, he was the lightweight champ, and because Flex had some issues, he took advantage of that, became the lightweight champ. Middleweight, somebody didn't show up, he took advantage, became the middleweight champ. So what do you think of that? Like, because I personally think that they were underestimating him and expected Israel to walk away with the title.
Here's the thing. It's a call to action. It's so if you have a shot and you take it, I really don't have a problem with that. Uh, really short nose. It doesn't bother me. Um, he's cool. He's the champ for a reason, and I mean, he's gonna have to prove it on Saturday. I mean, I think he knows he needs to prove that he's the real champion, and this is the fight to do so. This is why we're having the second fight now.
That is a fact. That is a fact. But honestly, a lot of people, they call it fraud champ, fraud this, fraud that. But honestly, I think they allowed him to take this fight because I don't know if they thought Israel was going to have a walk in the park and walk away with the belt. Because that was initially what was going to happen. Initially, it was Israel against, I forgot. I think it was Israel versus Leroy, actually. And but then Leroy didn't show up, so Diego took the fight and he walked out with the title. Now that put the RCC community in flames because of all they were saying about Diego and how he's fraud, how he's trash, how he's this and that. Yet he walks out with a title. So all due respect for him, I'll never call him a fraud champ because he took the opportunity. He was ready when nobody else was and nobody else expected it. But now back to the matchup. So last they fought each other last, right? Diego's last fight was Israel. Israel's last fight was Diego. And the main problem that I've heard from other people, and I saw glimpses and pieces from the fight, was Israel's defense. His defense wasn't really up. I guess he was maybe underestimating Diego, or maybe thinking that, oh, if we trade these strikes, it's gonna hurt him more than it hurts me. But the game wasn't on his side that day, and I guess Diego just got some hits in and was able to really shock the world, honestly. Now, I'm going to go back and check how the fight ended.
It was a round two submission.
Round two submission.
Is
What would you
Diego
look at?
is Diego really known for a good ground game?
Well, actually, he's more known for that than to be a striker. He's not really known for being a striker. He's known for, like, chopping you down, and then next thing you know, you end up in a bad situation. Now, Israel is going to try to strike. We know that. He has knockout clips, he has highlights, he has all of this, and we know Diego is going to try to. He's probably going to come in with the mentality of it worked once, it's going to work again. So I think Diego, it's a pretty. I think they cancel each other out. One's better on top, one's better in the ground. So I really think whoever can establish their style more than the other is going to come out with the victory.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. It's a lot of striker versus wrestler fights so far on this card.
But speaking of, like, what do you think strikers need to do to beat wrestlers, and what wrestlers need to do to beat strikers?
So wrestlers, the goal is pretty easy. You just have to stand with them long enough to not to ease off the fear of you taking them down, and vice versa. After you take them down in the next round, you need to strike with them because they're going to obviously have the fear of the takedown, so you can catch them off guard. It's much more difficult for the strikers. For the strikers, it's all about being cautious about the takedown, but you cannot. You need to stay focused on the feet. So when just keep him away from you, like you said, a lot of front kicks, a lot of stuff to just counter to make sure the guy can't get the takedown on you. That's basically the main goal for a striker, is just to stay focused and make sure that you don't give him an opportunity to take you down, and keep the fight on the feet. Be confident on the feet, but don't get concerned about the takedown way too much.
Yeah, I agree with that. But a lot of mistakes that strikers make is that they would do the game plan, right? Let's say they get a front kick knockdown or just something spectacular. Then they'll hop on the guy and try to finish the fight, then end up in a pretzel. And,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I just think that Israel, he needs to focus on, like, even if he gets a knockdown, let him get up. Keep the fight up. He will have to get up eventually. And that knockdown will cost Diego some major points because Diego's also known for winning decisions. So if he gets a knockdown, I in a spectacular way, which we all know he can, he needs to back up, let his stamina regain, make him get up, don't get on the floor. Just keep doing it until maybe he has no more head health left and you have enough stamina where you could spam and get his block out the way. But other than that, there should be no way that he feels confident jumping on him,
Yeah.
unless maybe you never know. What if he's been working on something that we don't know about? Stuff like that. But I
Well,
think
with what we're given, I think we should assume that, in my opinion, unless he is very, very low and you can't get through the block, as a striker, you should probably be going for points at that point. If you knock him down, that's a good thing. You need to be making sure that fight never goes to the ground unless he is done.
yeah, we've seen it a lot, right? True, True versus Kareem. True had enough stamina. Kareem didn't have enough head health, and he started spamming away until he got the KO. uh, Flex versus Jalo. Flex was getting him down, working him out, and then even got a submission, but his head health was so low that it knocked him out before the tap out. So it's just all like where is his head at the given moment? Is he gonna be greedy, try to get on the ground and match someone at their own game, or is he gonna take the smarter route, let them get up, and then choose wisely when to go in for the ground and pound finish.
Yeah, it's whatever you train on. I feel like you should do. I mean, we don't fully know everything about what his camp is. It's just what we're given. We don't know. We don't think he's done that. We think that if he is a very exceptional striker and he just sticks to his game plan very well, he can win that fight. He just can't get too aggressive. He can't go for the finish immediately. He just make that fight at your own pace. Make the fight how you want it to be. And the same thing goes for Diego. You do want to take him down. You do want that fight to go your way, and I feel like he has an easier path to finishing him than Israel does. Israel needs to go for points, and knockdowns will certainly help with that. Just don't try to shoot for the finish too quickly.
Yeah, I personally think that Diego, like he is, I fought Diego. Diego is someone that is very easy to out volume. Like he will be on defense, and if you just keep applying the pressure, you will catch him. But the thing is, once you catch him, you hop on him. Now you're in his realm. Now he's comfortable. That's the thing. You need him to be uncomfortable.
He's very good on his back, isn't he?
He is like Charles Oliveira.
Yeah,
You cannot hop on him. He will find a way to get a submission and find a way to drain you out, find a way to get dominant position. And that's the one thing, because a lot of people like discredit him for losing to people, but think about it. His three losses, actually, I don't think they're anything to be ashamed of. He's lost to top people. So I just think Israel has a chance. He has a great chance. He's been top in the middleweight division for a while. So I think this is his, because he lost the last one. So think this could be like his last opportunity in a while to get a shot.
yeah.
So I personally think that he needs to keep the fight standing. try to find a way to knock him out on the feet. Don't try to knock him out with GMP because it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk at all.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. And last but not least, let's move on to that main event before we get into our top 10, which will be coming up very soon. So, I did not pay attention to how this fight was made. I don't even know if there was any story behind it. However, it's happening, and we have an anime title now. Bushido Brown, also known as someone else in Road Boxing, taking on Leafy.
I'm
So,
trying to find Leafy actually in the
uh,
roster. I Okay, just talk about the fight and I'll try to find him.
all right. So, looking at this fight, it's like there really isn't that many stakes here when it comes to actual world title bouts. This is just one of those uh, nice showcases we have. Both guys are pretty good. I know Bushido Brown more from somewhere else where he is a master coach and a master boxer. But I'm gonna have a good. Personally, I don't know much about Leafy fighting. Um, Personally, I've never seen him fight. I've never really seen Bushido fight in Road Combat either. I know more as a boxer, but as someone who probably has more experience with me watching these two fight, what do you think about this matchup? And do you think this deserves to be in a main event spot?
um, I like the matchup. Well, I like the idea. Does it deserve to be a main event? No. I personally think that since it's a title, of course it's going to be headlined. Of course it's going to be hyped up. But I think Jalo versus Leroy, me versus Dylan, Manju versus Fred, Diego versus is. I think all of those fights are more relevant than the title fight. But of course, everyone's looking forward to see like what are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna treat it like the BMF where it's gonna be like on the line multiple times, or is it just
That'd
gonna
be
be
fun to
like
see.
a one-time thing? Um,
Basically, what the BMF was, because
yeah, I but Bushido Brown, he's the number 11 ranked, number 11 ranked, well, middleweight in the world. His last fight was Theo Rashad. Yeah, and Leaf. Hold up, I think I saw him somewhere. Oh, yeah, well, I don't know who this Leaf guy is. Like, I really don't.
he's a, let's say, personality. I knew him from somewhere, to be honest. I don't know why these guys have a beef. I bet it's because of a beef, otherwise his title wouldn't be on the line. I know
Oh
that.
wow, wait, they're actually in the same division.
And what is Leafy's rank?
Leaf is a non-ranked middleweight, 0-1, and he lost to. Oh wow, he lost to Adam Cart. Talk about a first fight.
Oh, that's who he fought in this. Wow, wow. Okay, bro, that's crazy.
So clearly, this guy isn't as what we. Clearly, he has some. I'm not gonna say that he's good just because he fought Adam Cart, but clearly he seems like a threat if he fought Adam Cart's first fight. That's kind of crazy to me.
There must be some hype around him then, because I mean I don't know how that
Yeah.
fight went, but it seems that he's there's definitely something there. So I mean we'll see. I mean, I bet. Let's see. His hometown is Antarctica. Um,
Wow.
his nickname is Daddy. Okay.
Okay.
So this guy certainly is a character, and I think I saw something that was kind of funny. I'm not. Look at the Which one is it? I think it's Ro MMA Junkie. He said something. Go to the main event one. I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna allow you to read it.
MMA junkie.
It's
Um,
in the main event.
oh, co-main event. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so Bushido Brown is trying to be formal, and he said, "I'm going to shock the world," but Lee said, "I'm going to bend him over and give him a mean rim job." Holy shit! Wow, I did not expect that at all. That is
that
very interesting.
that's interesting. I'm not gonna go too in depth into that. I'm just telling you guys right now. That's kind of the energy going into this fight.
Okay, well that. Okay, well what I'm stuck on is that his first fight was Adam Card. So we can't really sleep on him for being non-ranked or 0-1 because look at who he fought. He fought somebody who came in, ran through the middleweight division, left like a G. So now I look at the fight differently. Before I was like, oh, he's not ranked, he doesn't have a win. But then I saw who he fought, and I was like, oh shit.
It makes it interesting. I mean, I will probably need to look at how that actual fight went. But yeah, that's interesting to look at. You need to it makes us take it think more about how the fight's actually gonna go.
Yeah, because think about it, he beats majority of people.
Yeah,
So it's really intriguing. Like, oh wow, like I really didn't expect. I saw Adam pop up, and I was like, wait, is it who I think it is? And then I looked, oh shit, Adam Card. And look at what Adam Card did. He walked in, got the title shot, got the title
yeah, man.
flawlessly, left. So I look at the fight differently now. I think so. This guy has a character. This Leaf guy has a character. Now that's a I feel like that's a misconception because a lot of people who have characters like in real life, like Kobe and people in that range, have these characters. So maybe they could think he's illegitimate. Maybe they could think that he's a bum. Maybe he could think that he's a joke.
Yeah,
So then he goes into the fight, and maybe we don't maybe he brings out something that we didn't expect from him. He could get the job done. That's what I'm kind of expecting because we haven't. His last fight was Adam Carr. He seems to have a great sense of humor. You know, this belt doesn't seem to be taken too serious. So maybe he's gonna come into the fight making everybody think that he's illegitimate.
yeah, and it 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 makes people doubt him. But I do think that you know if he comes out and wins this fight, that that gives you a lot of that's going to give you a very interesting point of view on where he's going to go in the future and if he can be a big star.
Yeah, honestly, because I mean, I'm still very, very surprised that his last fight was Adam Carr. Like that, that's a very insane stat to have. Knowing what Cart did now, Bushido, I think he should take that into account. I really think he should think about it and be like, okay, well, he's been in the ring with, I don't want to say the best middleweight, but you could say that the best middleweight in RCC history because he did. So maybe he should think that, oh, this guy, is nothing to be played with. I think he's talking all that junk stuff, so then people could take him lightly. Next thing you know, he comes out the gate at 100 miles per hour. Next thing you know, might might shock the world. Might shock the world. But Bushido Brown too, he has a low record as well, so he's probably being slept on. So I just think this is a great fight for both men, win or lose, because you're on the main event, so you're gonna get some kind of attention.
Yeah.
And I think that if they have title aspirations in RCC, this was probably the best choice to make because it even happened to me. I was irrelevant at first because I've never fought in any feds or nothing like that. But then I fight two fights in a row, clean sweep both dudes in round one. Now all of a sudden I had people's attention and Zay was booking me more. I even got a title shot my third fight. I lost to Myron, but in respectable fashion. It was a war until he found out what to do to beat me. I think that fight goes differently if we fight now. But stuff like this is what people need to really put their name on the forefront if they really suspect. Because if you think about it, most of the RCC champions, the top ranked people, they've been playing this game. They've been in the leaderboards. They've been ACC for a while. So if you're a low a low popularity person, this fight is a dream come true for you.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Let's get into the end of our show. We got the RCC top 10 to get into. So far they're 15 so let's run down the list real quick. For D Nurmagomedov, who is fighting this weekend, we have Jalo Costa. He also has a fight this weekend. Hyodor Yan at lightweight. He has a. I don't think he has a fight yet. Israel Adesanya. We all know who he's fighting this weekend. We have Craig. I've never heard of Craig. I probably should. Myron Yeager, the welterweight champion. Diego Morales, middleweight champion. How do you spell? How do you say Faber's first name?
Uh, wait, whose first name?
Faber's first name, the flyweight champion.
Oh, just say true. True.
True Faber, undefeated flyweight champion. We have Flex, who's also undefeated at lightweight and champion. And then we have Jipe Stone Cold Miocic, which is awesome. He's the heavyweight champion, 5-0. So let's go through this top 10. I'll let you do your top 10. I don't really have one as of this moment, and it'll probably be the same
Uh,
as yours, to be honest. So right now, let's go to number 10. Who do you have so far?
oh, number 10 first. I was actually going to do one first.
Oh, you can do one first if you want.
Yeah. Okay, so number one, I think my teammate, my team captain, none other than Jipe Miocic, he's been dominating his division. 5-0, hasn't lost a fight, hasn't lost a round. Been starching everybody, setting up to the shadow realm. I think Jipe is number one. He has a full game. You know, he's just an all-time great when it comes to this game. At number two, and number three is the same as the pound for pound list. I have Jipe, Flex, True in that order. You know, all three have been dominant. All haven't lost a single fight. All have been holding the title since RCC has kickstarted. So, you know, they just. But personally, I think Flex and Jipe are better than True. Like not in a mile, but I think Flex and Jipe. If Flex and Jipe are a 10, I think True is a 9. So I put him at 3. At number 4, the power front is Diego Morales, but I have my mixed emotions when it comes to Diego because I fought him before. I would never say that someone isn't championship material, but I don't really see like the level of champions that we have in here. I don't think he is like the most skilled. So actually, number 4, I'm gonna put Craig. Craig, he's also known as damn, what's his user?
Um,
Uh, oh no, Mars, right?
oh,
Craig, also known as Mars. You know, if he's not the leader, he's one of the leaders of Moose. He fought Jipe this past weekend, and he's the person who pushed Jipe to the max. He's the only person that arguably you could say won a round against Jipe. Round one was probably the most entertaining round I've seen in RCC when it comes to like technical fighting. Of course, there are some people who just brawl from round one, but this fight was technical and they were still brawling at the same time, managing their stamina. So it was really entertaining to see, and really me being on Jipe's corner because I'm a part of his team and we have like a little thing against Moose. I was actually like, whoa, like is Jipe really about to lose right now against Craig? So it was really like a heart racing moment for me, which really scared me. So at number 4, I have Craig. Now number 5, this was either between Myron or Jalo Costa, but really I'm gonna put Jalo Costa because Myron apparently, from what I've heard from people, is quote unquote washed. I don't really like to use that term because I think everybody is great at the game, but I'm gonna put Jalo only because he, you know, dominated when he had the belt, lost to Adam Cart, which is no shame to lose to. So I'm gonna put Jalo at number 5. Number 6, I put Myron. He won against me. I've gotten a taste of him. I know what he could bring to the table. I know what he can do. Me and him, we had a little striking match, and I'll admit I won the first round, but then he started chopping my legs out, took me down, was able to get a sub, and all due respect to him, he got the best of me that day. But Myron Yeager is a killer. You know, under Myron, it's a toss up between Kareem Barnes and Bloxy Covington. They put on an absolute show of a fight. Unfortunately, it ended in a no contest because of issues. I don't know if the game has been experiencing some bugs when it comes to like locking on the people, transitioning, stuff like that. So they had to end it a no contest. I hope they run it back. I hope they could fight for the title against each other. That would be a great fight. But unfortunately, with the dominant champion there, he hasn't seemed to lose a step. So I'm gonna put number one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and eight to be Kareem and Covington. Nine, I'm gonna put Heater Yan only because I know what he could bring to the table when it comes to his all around like counter style. He is really good. He lost to Flex, which is no shame at all. Flex is Flex. I don't think anybody's gonna beat Flex anytime soon. Maybe off a flash KO or something spectacular, but other than that, I don't think nobody can go strike for strike with Flex. So it's all right. And did I say number 8 or number 9?
I think you said number 9 for Hyodor Jan.
Okay, so 10. Now 10 I can give to anybody. I can give it to Israel. I can give it to Rabib. I can give it to Arthur Leroy. I can go ahead and give it to myself if I wanted to be arrogant, but I'm not. I'm going to give number 10 to Adam Wren Fafner only because Fafner, he shows us something new every fight. Now, he was known for being a clincher, someone who could set knees in the clinch, really dominate the fight there, chop the legs out. Really what Moose is known for doing, which is dominating in the clinch area. But then he fought against his fellow Moose member, True, who was a dominant champion, and he won 2 rounds out of the 3. It was 2-0 going into the third, and True pulled out the finish. But I was utterly shocked. The judges were shocked. The commentators were shocked. He was up 2-0 against True, which is I don't think anybody has done that in the recent future. So yeah, he's a wild card. So that's my top 10. Number 1, G-Pay. Number 2, Flex. Number 3, True. Number 4, Craig. Number 5, Myron. Number 6, Costa. 7, 8, Kareem and Covington. 9, Heater Yan, and 10, Adam Wren. That's my top 10.
I like the
In
list. Personally, I would have put Bloxy up at in the top 10 because uh, I it's probably a bias because it was in his RCL days where I really watched him and I liked him a lot there. But I think he's a great fighter right now, and you said it yourself, number 2 flyweight in the world. Uh, could have a title shot down the line. But yeah, all in all, I liked your list. I am surprised you left out Diego Morales, but other than that, I think it was a very good list.
Okay, of course I knew I was gonna receive something like that, but this pound for pound list doesn't really add up because he's 3-3, and everybody in here has less than 2 losses. So I don't really see how he's so high in the pound for pound list. But the thing is, I've seen him at his lowest and I've seen him at his highest, and really, he's not like the reason. Like that's why people are so surprised of him holding the title because he is not the best in the game. He is skillful. He could win, but he's not something like that's wild impressive to me. Like all due respect, of course, nothing against him, but yeah, it's his record speaks for itself. He's an even 3-3 compared to the rest of people like 5-0, 4-0, 2-0, 3-2, 2-1. Stuff like that. So that's the main reason why I left him out. Plus, he hasn't really like. Well, of course he's a middleweight now, but before he was in lightweight. So really, he was really I guess he switched around to get his stuff going. So that's the reason why I left him out the top 10. I think everybody in the top 10 like would start him within a round. But of course, there are other names I could have thrown in there, like Arthur Leroy, Adesanya, I could throw myself, Igor, Ito, Dylan Volkanovski. The welterweight division is really slept on. Lightweight, I could have thrown in Andrew Tate. I could have thrown in Khabib. You know, Bantam. I could have thrown in Goon. I could have thrown in Sedner Megomedov. I could have went down to flyweight. I could have thrown in. You know, no, Khabib is here too. But yeah, I think RCC is a very diverse when it comes to competition and who's in what division. I feel like if you go to any division, you could either you could end up dominating it or you could end up getting dominated. I think you need to pick your poison when you choose what division you're going to, because you could have a division like heavyweight where you have hitters on hitters on hitters like Antonio Lopez, Tara Emelianenko. Like Tara, he's one of my closest dudes when it comes to RCC and stuff. So he's amazing. He showed me my ways of playing the game. So you know he's just been inactive as of late times. But him, Harry Cejudo, you know Harry Cejudo should be up there. Clutch Liddell, even with his lackluster record, he's up there. So it's hard to slide in Diego when you have so many other choices and options and just people that are so great at the game, but somehow just can't hold the title because the title holders are too dominant.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like you'll have weight divisions that are just dominated by one guy, but then you also have like middleweight where it can switch around. I think this title could be flipping around in the next few months, and that's gonna be very interesting to see.
Very, very much. And middleweight, welterweight, bantamweight, those three divisions, I think the title could be flipped around. And I'm not saying middleweight just because I'm there, but I think that everybody in the top five, no, the top four, me, Igor, Ito, Dylan, could have a shot against Myron. Like I had a shot against him. He just capitalized on a mistake I made. But I think everybody there could have a shot at the title. Middleweight, everybody in the top 10 could have a shot at the title. Bantamweight, everybody in the top 5 could have the title. So those divisions are the ones you really need to look out for. Of course, in lightweight and heavyweight and flyweight, you always have those up and comers that have this hope of dethroning the champ. But these champions, they're just too damn good, to be honest. They're just too damn dominant to really be taken off right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Janderson. It's been a good talk so far. Catch us next week. We'll be live. We'll be going live next week on Jace. What do you want to call it again?
Call what again?
The show.
Oh, first take.
All right. We'll be live on First Take next week. Thanks for stopping by. Janderson, you got anything else to say?
Yes, make sure you tune in to RCC. Make sure you tune in to RCC Fight Night 10, The Way of the Ninja, September 17th. Don't miss it. It is a packed card. We have RCC has been dropping card after card, even Fight Night 11. We have title fights, contenderships. So tune in. Make sure you don't miss it. There's gonna be fireworks. Everything. You're gonna expect some things. Some things are gonna happen that you're not gonna expect. So make sure you don't miss the card. Make sure you tune in to First Take. Also tune in to my own personal media, Jay's Octagon, where I talk about matchups and breakdowns and stuff like that. So just rock with us, man. We're trying to have some fun, trying to bring a new element to the RCC and World Combat world. So yeah, man, rock with us. I hope everybody enjoyed this first video. Other times we will have more things to speak on, but I appreciate my brother Perez putting me on. You know, Hopefully we can do this more often. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, man. We'll be live every Friday. Thanks for stopping by, guys. That will do it. Bye, everybody.